Gold was and still is one of the safest tools in the world, as it is considered a safe haven, especially in times of crisis. The following is a list of the top 10 countries in terms of central bank reserves of gold in the world. Gold reserves mean the amount of gold bullion kept by the central bank or the state treasury, as it contributes to the creditworthiness of the state and the issuance of currencies and bonds. This concept began more than a century ago, and according to the latest reports of the World Gold Council, when it comes to the largest gold reserves, the American Central Bank is number 1 with 8,133.5 tons, valued at $528 billion US, and in second place we find Germany. The Bundesbank, Germany's central bank, currently owns 3,358.5 tons of gold, which is less than half the amount amassed by the U.S. Like many of the central banks on this list, the German National Bank stores over half of its stock in foreign locations in New York, London and France. Third, we have Italy with 2,451 tons. The Banca Italia, the National Bank of Italy, began accumulating its gold in 1893, when 3 separate financial institutions merged into one. From there, 78 tons slowly grew to the 2,451.84 tons the country now has. Fourth, France 2,436.5 tons. All of its gold reserves are held by the Bank of France, amounting to 2,436.5 tons. The precious metal is stored in a secure underground vault of the bank, dubbed La Souterraine. It is located 27 meters below street level. Fifth, Russia 2,301 tons. The Bank of Russia is the official central bank of the Russian Federation and holds 2,301.64 tons of gold. Like France, Russia's central bank has chosen to store all of its gold locally. The Bank of Russia stores 2/3 of its gold reserves in the bank building in Moscow, and the remaining third in St. Petersburg. Sixth, China, 1948 tons. The central bank in mainland China is the People's Bank of China, located in Beijing. The National Institute of Finance stores 1,948.31 tons of gold, most of which was purchased since 2000. In 2001, the People's Bank of China had 400 tons of gold in reserve, but in less than 2 decades, that total has increased by 487%. Seventh, Switzerland, 1,040 tons. The Swiss National Bank holds the 7th largest central bank gold reserves. 1,040 tons of gold belong to the state of Switzerland, but the central bank manages and maintains the reserves. After years of obscurity regarding the country's golden treasure trove, the Swiss Gold Initiative, or Save Swiss Gold campaign, was launched in 2011. The publicity culminated in a national referendum in 2014, asking citizens to vote on 3 proposals. The first was a mandate for all reserve gold to be held physically in Switzerland. The other 2 dealt with the central bank's ability to sell its gold reserves, along with a decree that 20% of the Swiss bank's assets be held in gold. The referendum was unsuccessful, but did prompt the bank to be more transparent. In a 2013 release, the central bank reported that 70% of its gold reserve was held domestically, 20% was located at the Bank of England and 10% was stored with the Bank of Canada. And the 8th position went to Japan, 845.9. General information about the Bank of Japan's gold reserves is difficult to obtain. In 2000, the island nation held approximately 753 tons of the yellow metal. By 2004, the Bank of Japan's gold store had grown to 765.2 tons, and it remained at that level until March 2021, when the country purchased 80.76 tons of gold. 9th, India, 760.4 tons. The Reserve Bank of India is another central bank that has added to its holdings in recent years. It started adding to its gold assets in 2017, however, the majority of its purchases have taken place in the past 2 years. While 453.52 tons of gold is being held offshore in a safe with the Bank of England and the Bank for International Settlements, Business Standard reports, 295.82 tons of gold are locally owned. And in the 10th and last place, the Netherlands 612.5 tons. The Dutch National Bank, DNB, the Central Bank of the Netherlands, is on the list of the largest central bank gold reserves. Like Switzerland, the Dutch Central Bank stores up to 38% of gold in Canada's national reserve. Another 31%, in the form of 15,000 gold bars, is held in the local vault, while the remaining 31% is in the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. This list is dedicated to the countries that have the largest reserves of gold. As for the countries that produce gold, they differ slightly. Countries that produce the metal do not mean that they have large reserves of it. If you like the content, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video.